Okay, so you've tried time blocking, or at least you've heard of time blocking, but you haven't managed to make it stick for you yet. Maybe this is ringing true. You've color coded your calendar, you have time blocked your day hour by hour, and then you've given up on it by Tuesday because it doesn't work for you. This is the video for you if this sounds familiar, because I am going to show you the real way to do the time blocking, and I'm going to also show you where you've been going wrong so far so that you can avoid those mistakes going forward. I'm going to show you exactly how to make it work for you, but I'm also going to give you a live demo inside my calendar to show you how I do it. So this video for you is especially gonna be great if you're a business owner and you're juggling all the things. This is also gonna be really great for you if you want more structure but without feeling rigid. And if you've time blocking before and it didn't really work for you, this is definitely the video for you as well. So stay tuned. This question all the time about time blocking, and this one in particular came from Sue, and I wanted to address it because time blocking seriously has been an absolute game changer for me in my time management. And what she said is, she was like, how do you actually time block and how do you physically stick to it? My brain is always looking at the shiny things and then I get distracted. Oh my god, Sue, I hear you, which is why we are looking into this. If I haven't met you yet, hello, my name is Alice. I am a time management coach, and I work with busy business women like yourself who want to create a business with freedom and flexibility, but without the overwhelm, without the procrastination, without the shiny object syndrome, or without the burnout either. And I swear, time blocking is gonna be your savior. As I said in this video, I am going to show you how to make it work for you, and I'm also going to dive into the pitfalls as well, and stay to the end as well for my Brucey bonus, because I am also going to share exactly what I time block as well as doing the walkthrough with you. So first of all, let's just establish what time blocking is, because I want to make sure that we're all singing from the same sheet here. Time blocking is essentially when you plan out your day in blocks or chunks of time, and these specific blocks have themes to what that time block is about. So instead of looking at a long to-do list of things that you need to do for the day, actually what you're doing is you're using your calendar to show you what your day looks like, because you've got these allocated blocks of time. So why is that even important? Well, this is really important, especially as a busy business owner, because you are running so much in your head. You're juggling all these different things, and no doubt, in addition to your business, you also probably are a mum, you probably got loads of different responsibilities, so you're juggling a lot. So you need a way to be proactive and not just reactive. You need a way to take control of your time and your calendar, and time blocking is perfect for that. Time blocking is also critical because it will show you exactly what you've got coming up in your day, and also how much time you've got available. Now, I've got a whole nother video that I'm going to be doing on the to-do lists and how to manage that. But the problem with working from a to-do list is it doesn't actually give you indication to how long things are going to take, or priority order, whereas time blocking does. It shows what's important and when you're actually going to do it. So if you haven't watched the to-do list video, no worries, I'm going to link that below just in case as well. But this video, we're obviously going to be focusing more on the time blocking. So let's go into the step-by-step time blocking for beginners, and then I'm going to show you exactly into my calendar so you can get a real life demo. Okay, so 5 steps to time blocking if you are an absolute beginner. First of all, I want you to start with your non-negotiables. Yes, you heard me right, your non-negotiables. You may think, oh my God, what? Surely I should be starting with my deadlines, my projects, my whatever. No, what I want you to do is start with your non-negotiables first. Most people are doing it the wrong way around, and that actually is a pitfall. What you need to be doing first is decide what your non-negotiables are and get those in the diary first. Time block those out first. And everyone's non-negotiables are different, but basically your non-negotiables are the things that are really important to you, especially from a value perspective, but also from the perspective that it really helps you show up as your best you. you know? So these kind of things for me are like my weekly pamper time, my weekly Sunday planning time, it's space in the morning to set up my day, it's exercise. Like these for me are my absolute non-negotiables, because I know if I don't do this, then like I'm a little gremlin and like I just don't function. So my non-negotiables have to go in the diary first. My second step for you lovely is to add your priorities. Again, everyone is different, so you've got to decide what your priorities are. And also, don't just diarise and time block your business priorities, but also think about life in general, because that's another pitfall where people go wrong, is that they use the time blocking for work, for business, and then they totally forget to use it for, you know, that thing called life. Life happens, you know, so we've got to time block that as well. Time block the things that are important to you, and if they're important to you, then they should be a non-negotiable or a priority. Simple as that. And I love what Stephen Covey said, who is the author of The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. Top book, by the way, definitely recommend that. He said, show me your calendar and I'll show you your priorities. Boom. Truth bomb right there. Because let's be honest, lovely, if you opened up your calendar right now, does it reflect your priorities and the things that are important to you, i.e. your values? Maybe not. And if it doesn't, then we need to do something about that. Okay, so number 3, step 3 is to batch your tasks by type. Another common pitfall that I see people make is the fact that they try to time block everything, and it just becomes really overwhelming. You don't need to time block everything, you just need to time block by themes, by tasks, and this just makes it so much more manageable. So let me give you an example. Everyone's going to be different, but maybe you want to time block things like your creative stuff. So maybe things like your newsletter, your social media, your graphics. Maybe you want to then time block things like your admin. So invoices, follow-ups, emails, you know, paperwork. I don't know. Do we do paperwork anymore? Everything's digital, but yeah. Anyway, so you may want to time block in terms of like themes or the kind of like brain capacity that it needs. You know, admin doesn't really require that much brain capacity, but you know, writing out your social media for your next launch, oh my God, that does. So you may want to do it like that. This is something that I actually recently spoke about with my amazing ladies inside my Business by Design Mastermind. So shout out to you for just being amazing. But you know, they've started time blocking, and they all said like how it's helped them not just stay organized, not just manage their time better, but get into flow better. And I think it's because of this, that when you time block based on the theme, the type of task that it is, it helps you get in flow into the rhythm of what that thing is. And you're not flitting from one thing to the other. You're not in admin mode for 10 minutes and then creative mode for another 20 and then back in admin mode for like another 5 minutes. So you can get flow in your day so much better when you are time blocking. Okay, so step 4 for beginners and time blocking. Now this is going to be maybe a little bit controversial. Block to your energy, not just your time. So as I always advocate, time management isn't just about managing your time, but it's actually also about managing your energy. So it's really important that you don't just think about your time block in terms of like clock time management, but you think about it in terms of your energy as well. Not all hours are created equal, and we've all got a different preference. You know, I personally am not a morning person, so I would rather be doing something creative at 8 p.m. at night, to be honest, than 8 in the morning. So when I'm time blocking, I'm not just thinking about my time, but I'm also thinking about my energy as well. Now, also on this note, and this is a big pitfall that people make with planning in general, is not thinking about their energy, so that they might have time, but not the energy. So you may have a gap in your calendar and go, oh sweet, look, I've got some time there, but you might not have the energy. This is an example that I gave to my client the other day. And when I was in England recently, obviously when I go back to the UK, I'm an accidental digital nomad at the moment. So when I go back to the UK, it is like crazy. Like there's so many people to see and stuff. And I had this hectic week where I was like in Peterborough one day, I was in Milton Keynes the next. I mean, obviously all the glam locations in England, and Friday night I was going back to my friend's house to do some dog sitting, and my other friend was like, oh my God, are you free Friday night? Let's meet for a cocktail. Now I love a cocktail. But I was like, do you know what? I've got the time, but I don't think I'm going to have the energy. And I'm so glad I said no to her, because come Friday night, all I wanted was like a cuddle with that dog and getting in the bath. Like, I hadn't got anything left in the tank. But I preempted this. So my time block, yeah, I time blocked everything in terms of tasks, but I'd also thought about my energy. So I'd actually time blocked some time to rest and recharge. And also, just because that was empty space doesn't mean like, oh, I'll pop another time block of project in it, or like, you know, go see my mate for cocktails. So I really want you to think about your energy as well as your time. Okay, and tip number 5, oh my God, this is like step number 5. You need to time block as you go. Yes, I do my weekly planning on a Sunday. Yes, it is like, just, I never miss it wherever I am in the world. But I also time block as I go. So what do I mean? For example, if I get booked in for a workshop, for example, I know that prior to that workshop, I have got to do some prep. I have got to make sure I liaise with like the organizer. I will time block that prior. So let's say, you know, next Friday I'm getting booked in to do a workshop, then I will make sure that in the lead up to there are time blocks to map out the content, or, you know, whatever it is that I need to do. I don't wait until my Sunday plan is to do that. I do it straight away. I travel a lot. As soon as a travel plan goes in, whether that's a flight or a train, I then time block before that when I'm going to do my packing and my prepping, and also energy replenishment. So time blocking doesn't become so difficult or burdensome. You know, it's less of a chore because I'm doing it as I go. So cannot recommend that more. Like, time block as you go, not just like wait until you do your weekly planning to do it. Okay, so now I want to dive into a real life show and tell walkthrough example of exactly how I do my time blocking.
Okay, so here's a little sneak peek inside a calendar, just to give you a bit of a live demo about what time blocking can look like for you. So how you color code things, or if you color code things, obviously it's totally up to you. But here we can just see that orange is kind of like self-stuff, pink would be meetings, yellow is social, and blue is like time blocks for things. So let me just talk you through this. So first of all, let's just look over that Monday. And what we can see here is we've got a morning workout, we've got a couple of clients, and then we've got a time block for Calendly. Now, if you're like a lot of business owners where you are keeping up some space for your like potential meetings, then you're probably going to have chunks of time that you don't want to feel that you want to have available for an appointment. So maybe that's by Calendly, or maybe, for example, you know, you are a private yoga teacher, or like, for example, one of my clients, she wanted to create enough appointments for people to book massages. So obviously, you can see there's some time blocks here. We've got one on Monday, we've got one on Thursday and Friday. I will talk about that in a little bit more detail in a second. But also we can see with the little circly thing there that actually we've also got some time blocks for some daily things like posting on social media. And also on Monday, you can see there is some time blocking going on for some meaty projects, for example, for YouTube. Now, the thing around time blocking is that it is for you to move those blocks around if you need. And one of the reasons why I said make sure that you include those daily things that we often forget about is because you want to make space for them as well. And also, you can move those about. So let's say roughly 3 p.m. every day, I want to do a social media post. But you can see that actually in quite a few of the days, there's clashes. So on Monday, there might be a clash because I might actually have an appointment booked in. I've blocked that out for Calendly. And if that does happen, then that's cool. I can just move that about. Now, on that note as well, one of the things that I always recommend to my clients is if you've got time blocked out for appointments and you don't know until, say, I don't know, 48 hours before, 24 hours before, if that's actually going to be an appointment or not, or just an empty space in your calendar, rather than freaking out going, oh my God, what do I fill that space with now? Have a list of things that you will do if an appointment doesn't get booked in. And that's how you can maximize your time. Okay, so the other thing that I want to draw your attention to is let's say on Wednesday, early start, we're getting a train up to Manchester. Right. So this is where the time and energy thing comes in because you may want a time block energy replenishment on, say, Wednesday night because you know you're going to be knackered. So, yeah, you got the time available, but you might not have the energy. Now, one of the things I also said was time blocking things for yourself. So, for example, food shop, meal prep, stuff like that. You may even want to block out some me time as well. Again, it's all good to move things about. As I said, Tetris your calendar. So actually at 3 p.m., can I do the social media post or do I need to move it about? Do you know what? I'm going to do that when I get back from Manchester and I'm going to pop it there. Don't ask me why I always use Manchester as an example, by the way. I'm obviously not from there. Um, so as you see, we are now filling what our calendar could look like, and then we're time blocking, we're Tetrising our calendar to make it fit. So let's go for Friday, for example. Clocking up early, cocktails with the girls. Whoop. Hang on a minute. I've said that 6 p.m. on a Friday. I'm going to do my weekly KPIs. It's a recurring appointment. So if I can't do it at 6 p.m. because I'm having drinky poos with the girls, where does it go? All right, cool. Let's find somewhere for that to go. And I'm like, do you know what? Maybe I'll do it Friday a little bit earlier. So now you can see how time blocking actually provides structure, but in a way that is flexible, fluid. It's going to provide you flow rather than this straight jacket that is just so rigid. It isn't going to support you. Just also want to point out the fact that I do work in international business. So yes, I do have 2 time zones on my calendar. I don't expect everyone to have that, but obviously you are more than welcome to. And also I do use Outlook because I am old school and I just use at the top here, I use this for reminders, which is so useful because it helps me have that helicopter vision on my business. So for example, let's say, Wednesday, 22nd there, I know it's 2 weeks until my webinar. I might not have any actions this week for that, but at least I know it's in the diary and I'm like, oh yeah, got 2 weeks until that. So I find that really, really helpful when it comes to my time blocking and my planning as well.
So we're moving along our time blocking journey here because we've now established why time block, what it is. We've also done a walkthrough, and now what I'm going to guide you through are some of the pitfalls so that you don't fall into this mistake on your time blocking journey. So the first mistake is not putting in enough buffer time. Oh my god, this is rookie mistake 101. Do not schedule every single minute. It's unnecessary and it's quite frankly going to be a waste of time and just cause you overwhelm. I did actually have one client who got a bit too excited about time blocking and kind of took it to the extreme and started time blocking like every 15 to 30 minutes. It was too much. Needless to say, it didn't stick and it soon became very rigid and overwhelming for them. So I want to make sure that you don't make this mistake, and I want to make sure that you are adding in some buffer time. Now, also on that, you may also want to just create some white space. So what do I mean? So buffer time is about creating a little bit of gap between things, whether that's meetings or giving yourself a little extra time on a deadline. So for example, if something's needed by Friday, I will have it ready by Thursday. So I'm giving myself a little bit of wiggle room, a little bit of buffer. But also, I also do this on a day-to-day. If a meeting is an hour and let's say it's Zoom, I don't schedule the next meeting on the hour. I'll wait until 1:15. So I'm just creating that little bit of buffer time. Okay, rookie mistake number 2 is over time blocking and then being rigid to it. If you have got too many time blocks, it absolutely takes away the purpose of time blocking, and now it just becomes overwhelming rather than this beautiful thing that you can use to your advantage and make that structure that is going to work for you. Now, one of my techniques is Tetris your calendar. Yep, I know I'm showing my age there. Hopefully you know what Tetris is, but basically it's about moving those different blocks around. It's literally like doop, 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 and you're moving the blocks around to make it fit for you. So if you haven't got the energy for something on the Monday afternoon and you thought you would, but you have got the energy for the admin that you said you was going to do on Tuesday morning, just switch it around. That is the beauty of time blocking. But this is also why we don't want to over time block, because the whole point of time blocking is to create structure and freedom and flexibility, not a straitjacket. So make sure with this pitfall, you're not over time blocking because it will become too rigid. Okay, pitfall number 3, I have touched on this, on the tips, on the steps, but it is so freaking important, I need to mention it here in a pitfall, and that is to time block just based on your time and not your energy. It is so critical you think about your energy, not just your time. As I said before, not all hours are created equal, and not all tasks are created equal either. I personally could spend hours doing things like this, like content creation. I love it. But oh my God, could I spend hours doing admin and accounts? Not a chance. And I probably couldn't spend hours doing cleaning either, because that doesn't light my cup either. Light my cup? Fill my cup. Anyway, so make sure that you are thinking about your energy, not just your time. The 4th pitfall that mistake that I see all the time is not thinking about the BAU, the business as usual. So people are time blocking, they're getting, this is great. I'm making space for my yoga class, I'm time blocking like important projects, client deadlines, and then they forget to do the BAU, the business as usual. But this is really important because, it's important that you keep on top of like these projects and things like that. But actually, the daily stuff that we do, whether that's posting on social media or like catching up on our DMs or, even just basic things like making dinner, we forget that they need time as well. Now it's up to you if you want to like actually time block it and color coordinate it, but at least make sure that you are considering that when you're doing your planning and you're doing your time blocking, which goes to what we were saying earlier about not having it like back to back and making sure there's a bit of a buffer as well. And really similar to that, but a little bit different, number 5 as a pitfall is not including the regular or daily, weekly, whatever tasks that you need to do. These are the ones that we often forget to make time for. These are often things like maybe making dinner or getting the kids ready in the morning or commuting. I had one client who actually had quite a hefty commute a couple of times a week and totally forgot to put that in their time block. So obviously that kind of thing is going to eat into their time. So these are the kind of things that need to be added in as well. The next thing that I want to take you to is to think about the things to time block. Okay, so I said stick around for the end and I am going to show you, tell you some of the things that I time block so that you can take inspiration. Again, everybody is different. This is not like, you must. I'm not going to check up on you, but just for a bit of inspiration. So CEO time, so things like strategy, planning, goal setting. Obviously, I time block things like client calls and sessions, admin catch up. I'm sorry, I'm severely dyslexic. Reading is terrible. Content creation, whether you've got like blogs, social media, emails, etc. Marketing time, so not just the creation of the content, but also like the engagement, the scheduling, etc. Could also include outreach. Sales activities, the sales calls, the follow-up, the pitching, the proposals, whatever it is you need in your business. Email batching, do not answer every email as it comes into your inbox like these are like a recipe for overwhelm. Batch and bulk those and time block. Team check-ins, delegation time, time block that so you're not like constantly dipping in and out of team tasks. That's really important if you've got quite a big team. Energy replenishment. When are you going to top your own batteries up? Oh my God, so important, and probably one of the number 1 things that gets missed actually. Family and social time. You've got a business, but you've also got a life. When are you going to have that date night? When are you going to have cocktails with the girls? But being sociable, also do remember that you do need a bit of me time in that as well. Other things, life admin, and also I love this, one of my clients, she has a tabs and scraps time at the end of the day or the end of the week, so she can scoop up all those, let's be honest, we've all got them, all those little bits of like memos and notes and tabs open that we've got on Google that she hasn't dealt with earlier on. Travel time, that's definitely something to think about. As I said, I had one client who used to forget that. And also chunks of time for like meaty projects that you really want to get your teeth into. So hopefully that helps just to give a bit of inspiration. As I said, it's not like a you must do this. But I'd love to know as well, like drop a comment below, like what are some of the things that you are going to start time blocking? Okay guys, so there you have it, time blocking 101, the real way to do it. Hopefully this has been useful for you. As I said, time blocking has been a game changer for me and my clients. So my one-to-one clients and my ladies inside my Business by Design mastermind. So I really hope that you make this work for you as well. So if this has been useful, you know what to do. Please hit the like, hit subscribe, comment below as well. Like, tell me, what are you going to be taking from this video? Like, what are you time blocking? And thank you so much for being here. My name is Alice. I'm a time management coach working with busy business women like yourself who want a business and lifestyle with freedom, with flexibility and flow, but you know, without overwhelm, procrastination or any of that. I do have a little extra for you as well, my lovely. If you check the notes below, I am going to link my weekly planner and cheat sheet for you there. It's got a template and how I do my weekly planning. So make sure you grab that as well, because time blocking is the perfect complement to weekly planning. As I said, I do mine every Sunday religiously. So guys, once again, thank you so much for being here. I will see you in the next video. Make sure you like, make sure you subscribe, and I will see you soon.